Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. In this video, we'll discuss the third problem of Leetcode Weekly Contest 308. It's a medium level problem. The problem name is minimum amount of time to collect garbage, right? Uh, I would say a relatively long problem statement, but we'll see that in detail in the explanation. Let's just go through the problem statement once and then we'll move to the explanation part, right? So you are given a zero index array of string garbage, where garbage of I represents the garbage that you got at the ith house, right? Now garbage of I consists of characters M, P and G, representing 1 unit of metal, paper and glass garbage respectively, and picking up 1 unit of any type of garbage takes 1 unit of time, right? That's the first part. Now you are given a zero index integer array travel, where travel of I is the number of minutes needed to go from house I to house I plus 1, right? So there are three garbage trucks in the city, each responsible for picking up one type of garbage. Each garbage truck starts at house 0 and must visit each house in order. However, they do not need to visit every house. Only one garbage truck may be used at any given moment. While one truck is driving or picking up the garbage, the other two trucks cannot do anything. Return the minimum number of minutes needed to pick all the garbage. Let's jump to the explanation. I'll try to explain you in a better way there. So yeah, you have an array. Let's call it garbage, right? This is garbage. You have some strings G, then you have P, then you have G and P, and then at last suppose you have GG, right? So G represents glass, P represents paper, and if there would have been M, so M represents metal, right? So these are the garbages that you got from 4 houses. You also have an array travel. Travel is 2, 4 and 3. What does this 2 represents? 2 represents that if you want to travel from house number 0 to house number 1, it takes 2 unit of time. 4 represents, suppose you want to travel from first house to the second house, it takes 4 unit of time. And the third represents, suppose you want to travel from second to third house, then it is 0. So you have 0, 1, 2 and 3 houses. So for this the time is 2, for this time is 4, for this time is 3, right? This is represented, right? Also, there are 3 trucks. Each truck can pick only one type of garbage, so there are 3 trucks. So one is for G, one is for P and one is for metal, right? Glass, paper and metal. Also, a particular truck will visit the houses in order. However, it is not necessary to visit all the houses. What does this mean? This means, suppose I consider the truck which contains paper, which picks up paper. So the truck has to start from house number 0. That is compulsion. That is a compulsion. It moves to house number 1. It moves to house number 2. Now you see here, house number 3 doesn't have any paper. So whatever time this truck is taking to travel this thing, that is ignored. This is the last house which is relevant for that particular truck. So after this, you don't need to visit any house. That is what this basically phrase was saying in the question, right? So one was separate trucks, right? And the second is not necessary to visit every house. I'm just trying to write it quickly, so bad handwriting. And the third one is things will be sequential. This is also an important part, but it makes the problem very easy. Sequential means while one truck is doing all these things now, forget about the remaining 2 trucks. Or in other words, what I want to say, suppose you are considering the glass truck. So glass truck starts from house number 0, it moves to house number 3, suppose, or 2. So suppose that it took X time, right? Now a truck which needs to pick P, it starts from house number 0, suppose it moves to again some house, it takes time Y, and similar is for metal truck. So all these times will be added and this will be your final answer. Or just consider it as 3 sequential different operations, right? So this is what we are doing. If I come to the implementation, so it's a very easy problem. Again, as compared to the other third level problems that you get into the contest. Why easy? Because 2 arrays are given. You just need to traverse it and you just need to calculate the time that it is taken, right? So what you will do in the solution, right? What you will do? I'll show you the code as well, but briefly if I talk about, then you can have a function which basically takes the garbage string or the garbages you collect from the houses, which takes travel array as well, and which garbage you are considering for now, current garbage, right? Suppose I have made a function. I'll call this function three times. Once I'll call by passing m, p, and then g, right? And this is about the implementation. Now what do? You calculate for a particular. Suppose I am considering for p, right? So you start traversing the houses and see which is the last house which contains p, right? Because after that the truck containing p will not be relevant to us, right? So suppose this is the house where you get the last p, right? These houses don't contain any p, so just find this index. Suppose I call it last house to visit. Obviously if this is again -1, that means there is no house having the current garbage, right? So just skip it. That is again the implementation thing. Now what you do, you have found out which is the last house. What do, you again traverse the houses starting from I equals to 0 to I less than equal to last house that you found out here, right? Why? Because these are the only relevant houses that you will be doing. Now what do, you just add, your total will be equals to travel time, right? Travel time of I minus 1. Now again, just check that if I minus 1 is greater than equal to 0, then only you do this thing, because when I equals to 0, there will be no travel time, right? So this is just an addition condition. And the second thing the problem is saying, it takes 1 unit of time to pick 1 unit of garbage. So that means count in the current house how many p's are there. I am considering p right here, right? So suppose the string is p, 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 g. So you will take 3 unit of time to pick all the garbage which is p here. So just make a utility function, get count, pass the string and pass the p here in p, m, g, whatever is there. This is your total time, and finally you return the total time for the current type of garbage. You do for all these garbage and we are good to go. Let's see the code. Since there is nothing much to explain, all the observations that was there I have already told you in the explanation. Let's jump to the solution part. So on line number 34 you can see my answer equals to get time for garbage, g comma travel comma m. So first I have considered the garbage collection for metal, then I have considered the garbage collection of glass, then I have considered the garbage collection of paper, and finally I have returned my answer. Now let's move to the get time for garbage function, that is on line number 12. What I have done, first thing, again on line number 14 you can see last house to visit. That is what I was telling you in the problem, right? So in the first loop, that is from 16 to 18, what you are doing, you are checking if the current house has the current type of garbage or not. If it has, then this is the last house right now. Till now this is the last house containing the current type of garbage, right? So last house to visit is updated by I. You keep on doing this for all the houses, right? Now if last house to visit is -1, I initialized it by -1 on line number 14. That means the current type of garbage is not present at any house, just return 0, right? I can skip this line as well, to be very honest, because it would have been taken care by line number 24 to 30, because I would have been less than equal to -1. But yeah, but you can remove this line, right? Now total time equals to 0. What I have done, I equals to 0, I less than equals to last house to visit, right? Now total time equals to get count, pass the current string and the current type. Now go to line number 2. Just see what this function is doing. It is counting the total number of occurrences of the current character that you have in your string, right? Basic stuff, and this just return that count. So on line number 26 I am adding that count. On line number 27 I am seeing that did I took any travel time. Now when will I take any travel time? Only when the index is not equal to 1, or I minus 1 is greater than or equal to 1, is 0, or I is greater than or equal to 1, whatever you call it, just different representation of the same equation. So you just add total time plus equals to travel of I minus 1. So you keep on doing this for all the houses that are valid for this condition and just return the total time, right? Basic stuff. Do this for all the type of garbage and we are good to go. Now just see, I have called this function 3 times by passing 3 different values. So this has made the problem simple, because these are sequential operations. It's not that you there are certain conditions that you can do multiple operations together, right? So this has made the problem pretty simple, right? So yeah, I hope you learned something new from this video. Do support it by giving up a thumbs up, do subscribe to the channel. Also, most of the viewers of this channel, around 98% of are not subscribed. So if you find this channel useful, do subscribe to it. It keeps me motivated to make such content. Also, if you have any queries, then please do mention that into the comments. I'll try to resolve each one of them. Thank you, take care, bye bye.